Hello, I'm Tommy Lake, Well Construction Program Coordinator with the Oregon Water Resources Department. In this video tutorial, I'll go over how to make a special standards request using the eFile Star Card system. I'll now demonstrate this process sharing my screen.
On OWRD's homepage, under the Groundwater and Wells section, select Resources for Well Constructors. On the left-hand side, select eFile Start Cards. Once you do, you'll be brought into the login screen, where you need to enter in your license number and password. For this test demonstration, I'll be using our test eFile system. I'll enter in my license number and password. Once I do, I'll be brought to the eFile Start Cards main page. You'll see File a Start Card, Manage Pending Start Cards, and Start Card Reports. For special standards requests, you only need to use File a Start Card and Manage Pending Start Cards. I'm now going to file a start card requesting special standards for a new well. Please refer to the How to eFile Start Cards video tutorial for further instructions and details on how to eFile Start Cards. For the company name, I'm just going to put Tutorial New Well Special Standards, so I can locate in my queue after I've submitted the start card. I'm then going to auto-populate the owner information as myself. Remember, you must include an email address for the landowner as part of the new requirements. For type of work, I'm going to select New. Then for the use, I'll be saying it's a domestic well. I'm going to skip over the water rights section, as this example does not have one. However, if the well you plan to construct or abandon has a water right, list the permit number here. Now in the construction section, this is where I will list my proposed depth, casing diameter, proposed commencement date, and proposed seal placement date. Lastly, in the Request Special Standards drop-down menu, you must select Request. You'll complete your special standards request after the start card has been filed. Now for the proposed well location, I'm going to use the address listed above. I'm going to copy this address and paste it into the upper right-hand corner of the mapping tool. When I enter it in, it will zoom in on the map. With my cursor, I'll click to create a red X. This X will auto-populate the latitude and longitude. I'll then select Calculate TRS. When I do that, the township, range, section, quarter, and county information will be auto-populated by that point. You have to manually enter in the tax lot information. Once you've done that, scroll to the bottom and select Add to Cart. Once you do that, it will end up in your shopping cart. When you're ready to check out, select Checkout. Again, please refer to the How to eFile Start Cards video tutorial on the checkout process. I'll be skipping that so we can move forward. Now I'm going to do an example where you file multiple start cards to be under the same special standards request. So again, I go in and click File a Start Card. This time, I'm going to call this Tutorial Multiple Start Card Dewatering. For the name, I'm just going to auto-populate as myself. Again, remember, you must include an email as part of the new requirements. For the type of work, this is new again, but this time I'm going to select dewatering for the use. I'll be skipping water right section again because this example does not have one. In the construction section, this is where I'll put my proposed depth, casing diameter, proposed commencement date, and my proposed seal placement date. Lastly, to request special standards from the drop-down menu, I must select Request again. For the proposed well location, I'm just going to use the address I listed above. I'm just going to copy this, and in the upper right-hand corner of the mapping tool, enter it in. It will zoom in, and with my mouse, I'm just going to click to drop a point. The latitude and longitude is auto-populated, so I'll click Calculate Township Range section. This will auto-populate, and then I'll just manually enter in the tax lot information. Now this time in Proceed, you'll see for dewatering and monitor wells, you can create multiple start cards. So for how many templates I want, I'm going to say 5. When I do, 5 start cards will appear in your shopping cart. If you need to edit any of the information in the start card, you must click on it and hit select. This will bring up that individual start card where you can edit any differences. For example, if this was an abandonment, this is where you could change the original report number, well location, stuff like that. Once you're done, you can click checkout to proceed. Again, I'm going to refer to the How to E-File Start Cards video tutorial for completing the checkout process. I'll now go into how you make the special standards request. We'll now go into how to make the special standards request. On the main menu of the E-File Start Cards page, select Manage Pending Start Cards. Once it loads, you'll see the most recent start cards you submitted. You'll see the tutorial for the well we created for the individual, as well as the multiple start cards for dewatering wells. Let's go into how to do the individual first. You'll see on the right-hand side of the table, Special Standards Request As. It will say Request Incomplete. You'll then see a hyperlink to update special standards. Select that. This will redirect you to the Request for Special Standards page. If you scroll down, you see the request will have today's date, a special standards number associated with it, the start card number, the primary start card number, which we'll discuss for the multiple start card special standards requests, and the status. You'll see it's highlighted Request Incomplete. The driller, owner, type of work, location of the project sections will be auto-populated from your start card. In the condition of the request section, choose from this drop-down menu in the unusual conditions which necessitate this request. You'll see there's various different types already listed. If you don't see the exact one that matches up, select Other, and then you'll type in the proposed construction methods that the well constructor believes will be adequate for this well. Type in what you believe is adequate. For this example, let's say there's a setback from the nearest drain line due to lot size and configuration. I'll now type in my explanation as to what I believe my proposed construction method will be adequate for. So I'll just say small lot, 80 feet from the nearest drain line. Propose minimum 38-foot seal. You'll see that there's this DEQ site or facility ID. This only needs to be filled out for monitoring wells if it is available. Now you must choose Update to complete the conditions of request section. If you need to cancel your request, this is where you will select Cancel Request, and it will change the status from Request Incomplete to Canceled. Now, in the attachment section, you must submit the supporting documents for this request, such as the request form, diagrams, photos, water analytical data, etc. To be able to submit the request, a diagram must be submitted. An auto-validation will pop up if no diagram is submitted, and the request will remain incomplete. So, in this title, I'll just put test diagram. My document is a diagram, and I'll just say well design. I'll then select choose file. This will open up your files on your computer. I'll just include this document for an example. I then will select add. Once it's loaded, you can see what documents have been successfully inserted. You can modify or delete any document. You can also select preview to view the document. Now we scroll down to the bottom of the page. You'll see this table that has the setback requirements from the closed sewage storm drainage system, the septic tank, the drain field, or if you meet the minimum setbacks, it will be here. So you must select edit. Once you do, you must enter in the information. If you do meet the minimum setbacks, you can click here to get the box checked. In this case, we're saying we're doing a setback from a drain field. Now there is no closed sewage system on this imaginary site, so I'm just going to list 100 because you must include a measurement. For the distance from the septic tank, I'm going to say we're 80 feet. Now, the minimum drain field is 80. I'll select update. When I do, you'll see that the status of my request has now been changed to request submitted. If you have an error, there will be this box down here that says request incomplete, and it will list what sections needed to be updated with the correct information. After we've done this special standards will be in the special standards information system that the well construction program coordinator will be able to go in and attach the special standards approval or request more information if something is needed. Now I'm going to do the demonstration for the multiple dewatering well start card. Now back on the Manage Pending Start Cards page, you'll see that the status has been updated under the special standards request status for that individual start card we just submitted for. This status will then change again once the well construction program coordinator has either issued the approval or denial. Now let's go into how to do multiple start card special standards. You'll see we have the templated multiple start cards. Let's select the first one, as this will be the primary start card. I will discuss this once we're in the special standards page. So we'll scroll down and we'll see that we have today's date, the special standards number, the primary start card number, what the actual start card number is, and the status. So let's go back for a second. I will select one of the templated multiple start cards that is not the primary. So we scroll down. You see here the start card number changed, but again, the primary number is listed for the request. So I'm going to go back and go into the primary start card. So this time, I'm going to select other for the unusual site conditions. I'm going to say that this is a temp watering well. Pardon my spelling. Request 5-foot seal. Now I'll select update. I'll scroll down and remember at the minimum, a diagram must be submitted to be able to get this request from incomplete to complete. So this time I'm just going to say well design. Now I'm going to choose a file. I'm going to choose a file that's a little different than the last one and make it a little larger. I will add it, and it may take a few extra moments to load based on the size. I'll scroll back down and make sure that my insert document has been successfully done. I do a quick preview just to make sure it's been added. Now we'll scroll down, and here's the difference between the individual and the multiple start cards. You'll see all the start cards that I submitted under the special standards will be listed. At a minimum, to get the special standards to submit, you must edit the primary start card number, which, as you can see here, is this 1070044. I will select edit. And this time I will say minimum setbacks have been met, and I'll select update. Once it does, you'll see that my request has been submitted. If you scroll down again, you'll see that there's still this incomplete request. Water wells require the distance to the nearest closed sewage, storm drain line, septic tank, and drain field. This is because these 4 aren't listed. You may go in and edit these if you need to, or you can, again, the minimum primary start card needs to be done. So let's go back to our manage list. So you'll see, we go in and you'll see this has been request submitted. The additional ones have been request submitted too, because the primary start card met the minimum requirements. Please note that once a request is request submitted status, it cannot be edited. Only request incomplete may be edited. The special standards request will be entered into the special standards information system for review in both the the incomplete and submitted status. Please contact the well construction coordinator via phone or email so they are aware of the request if the request status remains incomplete. The well construction program coordinator is able to issue an approval for requests incomplete statuses. And once it is approved, you'll see that there will be the approved. Thank you for taking the time to go through this, watch this tutorial on how to request special standards. Feel free to contact the department or the well construction program coordinator if you're having any issues making the request or any technological issues. Again, thank you for taking the time to watch this video.